Hello everyone, welcome to Dada's FoodCrave kitchen featuring cooking, beauty, lifestyle and more. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make bulgur wheat as we all know it in primary school, crack wheat. Yes, if you were in Gambia and you were in any primary school in Gambia, Methodist Primary School, Wesley Primary School, Albion Primary School, whatever primary school in Gambia, you have eaten this for lunch. Yes, crack wheat. If you guys are interested in seeing how I make this delicious bulgur wheat known as crack wheat in Gambia, please stay tuned. And without any further ado, let's get cooking. So I'm gonna be using some chicken all washed, and now I have some pepper grounded up. These are all habanero pepper, 1 can of tomato paste, then I have my Nokoss here. I will put a link down below to show you how to make your own homemade Nokoss. And I'm gonna use black pepper, smoked paprika, some sea salt or any salt you have, 1 can of crushed diced tomato. If you don't have crushed diced tomato, you can use fresh tomato as well. I'm going to use like 8 cloves of garlic and 2 chicken jimbo with 2 medium onions. And this is the crack wheat, guys. Crack wheat as we all know it in primary school in Gambia. Yes, they used to make this churagete, benechin, bahalinete too. Anything that they will make this crack wheat with. So I guess they call it bulgur wheat. You can find it in your local grocery store. As you can see, it's labeled on the package, cracked wheat, bulgur wheat. You can use any brand you find. That should be due. So these are all my ingredients all laid out. I will put a link down below so that you guys can check out my homemade seasoning Nokoss. Once again, this is the crack wheat. This is how it looks like. Like I said, if you're in Gambia primary school, you should remember this because it was fed to us at lunchtime. As you can see, I have my gloves on and I didn't touch the chicken yet, and I actually even washed my hands while the gloves was on. I make sure I wash my hand with soap and water while I put the glove on. So now what I'm gonna do is I am going to add some salt on the chicken. This is optional. You don't have to add salt before you add your Nokoss, because mindful the Nokoss already have some salt in it too. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. And then I'm gonna pour in some couple of sprinkles of black pepper, and then I'm gonna sprinkle some smoked paprika, this is just a sprinkle. I did not measure because, like I said, I'm going to use my homemade Nokoss. So when it comes to the homemade Nokoss, you want to be also mindful. Do not use a wet spoon or contaminate the spoon. Put it in the chicken, then put it back in the Nokoss. The spoon's supposed to be completely dry before you can put it in your Nokoss. Clean and dry, so that it will last you very long for future use. So now that I add all the other ingredients, I am going to simply just mix the Nokoss on the chicken. Make sure all the seasoning are all well incorporated in the chicken. Get all the nooks and crannies. Put some under the skin. Rub that joint up like, yes, so that when the chicken is ready, every bite you take will have that Nokoss seasoning, I'm telling you. And then after that, I am going to now add a little bit of oil on the chicken so that it will keep it from not sticking from the non-stick pan, foil pan that I'm using, which I'm gonna end up throwing away. So I'm not gonna use any kind of baking pan. I'm just gonna use this non-stick foil pan or foil pan. That will save me time of doing too much dishes. So I'm gonna lay it out like so. My oven is already preheated to 450 degrees. I am then going to put it in the oven and bake it, or broil it, not broil, bake it for like 45 minutes. Meanwhile, I am going to add 3/4 cup of oil, vegetable oil. You could use any oil you have. Mind you, when you're making bulgur wheat, it doesn't require a lot of oil, because if you add too much oil, you will definitely see the oil on the bulgur wheat when it's ready, and it will soak up all the oil. Now I'm adding my blended ingredients, which is my garlic, habanero pepper that I blended, and my onions, and all the other ingredients, my crushed tomato, or you could use fresh tomato. Add it in the hot oil, stir fry it a little bit. Then I am going to add 1 small can of tomato paste and mix that all well together until it's well combined. Then I'm going to add my Knorr tomato seasoning. I don't have much left in the jar, so I'm just gonna use everything. It looks like 1 tablespoon of that was remaining in the jar. You can use any seasoning you have, not necessarily exactly what I use. Bulgur wheat requires a lot of flavor, so if you are planning on making this cracked wheat, make sure you add as much flavor as you want, because it's very plain, but it's very healthy and tasty as well. So now I cover the pot and let my my sauce brown up a little bit. It's not quite ready. I'm gonna cover it and then brown it up a little bit more until the sauce is well caramelized. And this is the consistency I was looking for. It's brown, it's fried really good. Bulgur wheat, it's also healthy for you. If you are trying to find a great alternative in eating rice, white rice, and you don't want to eat too much of white rice, I would say go for bulgur wheat, because it's very healthy comparing to just eating white rice. And if you watching your waistline, I would say this should be perfect. So now what I did, I add 3 cups of water in the sauce. Now I'm gonna cover the pot, taste for salt, taste for my flavor. Like I said, it requires for you to add as much flavor as you can, because it's bulgur wheat. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Add salt to your own taste. Like I always say, let it boil. Meanwhile, I am now going to wash my cracked wheat. Yes, I know, like I said, if you were in primary school in Gambia, any primary school in Gambia in the 80s, you should remember cracked wheat. And you're not gonna tell me you did not eat this for lunch in Gambia when it was time for us to go for breaks. Yes, they serve this in Gambia as a lunch. I mean, it wasn't as, I'm telling you, it's not gonna be as tasty as the homemade cracked wheat. Obviously, they're cooking for a whole bunch of kids in a school. They're not gonna take the time and make it really homemade cooking, but you can change the game and add a lot of flavor to this dish. So what you want to do is wash the cracked wheat. I washed it like 3 times, and make sure some of the residue up there that's floating on top are drained out until you are well satisfied with the rinsing. And it doesn't take much to rinse at all. Just rinse it like 2 or 3 times and you should be good to go. Drain all the water out. And this is how the bulgur wheat looks like. If you don't want to eat too much of a white rice, this is a great alternative for you to add bulgur wheat into your diet. But you can actually check it out and see the great benefits that it has to offer. So now that the water boiled and my cracked wheat is already washed, or maybe I would say rinsed, I'm gonna add it into the sauce. It's almost like cooking jollof or cooking benachin, but like I said, it requires a lot of flavor. But please do not add a lot of oil. It doesn't require for you to add a lot of oil. So I am making 5 cups of bulgur wheat. So 5 cups of bulgur wheat and 3 cups of water. You have to be very careful. You don't want it to be too mushy. Then I needed more salt. I added some salt to my own taste. So now you're gonna mix it really well, like so, until it's well combined. Then you are going to cover it. I'm going to now cover it when I'm done here with a parchment paper. So as you can see, my chicken's been baked for 45 minutes on one side. Now I'm going to flip it over to the other side and cook it again for another 20 minutes, like so. Then after 20 minutes, I take it out and flip it again. At this time, instead of keep cooking it for 450 degrees as my oven was already set, I am now going to boost up the oven to broil, the broil setting. If you have a broil setting in your oven, boost it up all the way to broil, because I like that burn color on my chicken. So I covered the bulgur wheat with parchment paper. I cooked it for 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna cover it up and give it another 35 to 40 minutes without opening it. So now you're gonna cover it with the parchment paper. Is that because you don't want excess water to go in the bulgur wheat? That will make it more mushy. And now, as you can see, my chicken is all ready. That's how it looks like. So after 35 to 40 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes, voila, the bulgur wheat is ready. The cracked wheat is ready, guys. I'm gonna say cracked wheat because that's what I know to call it when I was in Gambia in primary school. So as you can see, this is the excess water that I didn't want to go in the bulgur wheat to make it more mushy. Like I said, be mindful of adding too much water and too much oil. I made 5 cups of bulgur wheat and 3 cups of water. It doesn't take much to cook at all. Even if it comes out really mushy, don't worry, the next day it will not be like that. But the first day, if it comes out mushy, the next day it will come out really settled. So this is the bulgur wheat, the cracked wheat. It's ready, guys. It's so delicious. Now I'm gonna just make a nice presentation for you guys. And if you are new to my channel and you like what you see and you remember eating bulgur wheat, cracked wheat in primary school, whichever primary school you attend in Gambia in the 80s or whatnot, in the 70s, this video is for you. If you attend Methodist primary school, Wesley primary school, Albion primary school, whichever primary school you attend, this video is for you. I'm taking you back, guys, way back to primary school when they used to feed us some cracked wheat for lunch. And like I said, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And I want to thank all my returning subscribers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.